Question number 5, we have a graph which shows how the charge on a capacitor P changes with time. So it is charged to a 20 ohm resistor. So the resistor is 20 ohm. We have to determine the capacitance of capacitor P. So if you come across the questions like this, you have to always remember this is going to be related with charging or discharging of a capacitor through a resistor lah. Okay, so the equations kita tahu kita ada Q, V and I, so it depends on what the question asks lah. So now the question asking us about the capacitance of the capacitor P. So we can use either Q, V ataupun I, but the problem is, do we have the information? We only have Q sekarang ni, so we can use the equation of Q, which is Q equal to Q naught 1 minus E negative T over RC. So why am I using this equation? Because this question is on charging of the capacitor. If the question mentioned this sudah fully charged, lepas tu dia kena connected to a resistor, that is when you're going to use this charging punya equation. But now, this is all about charging of capacitor, and then the graph pun memang tunjuk kita pasal charging of a capacitor. Okay? So now, based on the graph, we know that when Q is equal to 0.63 Q naught, T is going to be equal to 80 microseconds. So we are going to use this to determine the value of C here, okay? So substitute that value here. This is Q naught 1 minus E negative 80 times 10 negative 6 divide by 20 C. C is the one that we are looking for. So when you do it like this, you are left with, actually I'm gonna simplify that. Never mind. I'm just gonna write it down. 20C. Oh, sorry. So we are left with 0.63 equal to, yeah, I'm just gonna directly rearrange it, okay? So this is gonna be 1 minus 0.63. What I did was, after hilang this Q naught, kita akan kasi pindah this E here pergi sebelah, so it becomes positive. So 0.63 pindah pergi sebelah, so 1 minus 0.63. So if we ln both sides, I forgot ln. If we ln both sides, we can remove this ln E here, so that this value here becomes like this. Okay, so barulah kita boleh solve there. So your value of C is gonna be equal to 4 microfarad. Okay, right, so always remember to ln both sides untuk kasi turun this power pergi depan. Kiranya ln E is equal to 1 lah. So, dia akan pindah ke depan. Don't forget the negative value lah. Dia akan ada negative. Because this value will give you a negative value. So, negative, dia akan jadi positive. Alright? Okay. Question B pula, dia minta kita determine the effective capacitance after when it is rearranged like this. Okay, so what we will do is first we simplify this tree here because all of this tree here is connected in series. So senang sikit lah. So it's gonna be, oh wait, what do I call it? C235. 235 is gonna be equal to 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 5 to the power of negative 1. And effective capacitance of this will be the addition of this lah. Okay, so this CP here is 4 lah yang kamu kira tadi. So this is gonna be equal to 4.968 microfarad ataupun based on the final answer it is 5 microfarad. Okay, so I would always like to put at least 3 significant figures ataupun 3 decimal points supaya tidak terlampau round off the values lah. Alright, so that is on question 5 and this is a past year question. It is quite simple if you remember the subtopic on charging and discharging of capacitor lah. Okay, but this equation is given in your formula sheets. You just have to remember that this is charging of capacitor based on the graph lah. Okay, all right, so that is on question 5.